Hey guys, so I'm back again with another video, and this one's really exciting because a lot of times I'm talking about what I recommend for other players and fitting parameters and those types of things. But this time I get to talk about what's in my bag. So for me, it's really important to find the clubs that I hit as far as possible, but also score really well with and what I like the look of and all those things. And like any golfer, I'm a little picky, and especially as a guy who builds his own golf clubs, I get kind of into the details a little bit more than kind of somebody who's just going to go in and talk to a club builder and kind of ask for what they want. So I'm going to go through the details of those of my clubs. If you have any questions about them, just use the comment section. I'll be happy to answer any follow-up questions you have from the video or any questions that I didn't answer. So right off the bat, my putter, it's a Peretti Potenza 2 Tour Issue Custom. It's got a sight dot. I don't like putting with a line on the ball, so the sight dot for me works really well because all I'm thinking about when I'm putting is hitting the middle of the club face. That's it. Try and keep it really simple. It's 35 inches long, it's 2 degrees flat, and it has 2 degrees of loft on it. It's really important because of the greens that I play on to get the ball rolling as soon as possible, so I don't use a putter with a lot of loft. Going to the top end of my bag, I'm using the ST 180 from Mizuno. I love this thing because I can crank it down to 7.5. To describe my golf swing, swinging about 105 miles an hour, and a polite way to say it is I'm a little flippy. So because of that, using a driver with very low dynamic loft works well for me. I'm using the Even Flow Project X 6.0. It's tipped 3/4 of an inch, it's 45 inches long, and it's a D3 swing weight. Up next, really excited for this golf club this year, and that is the GT Tour Spoon Fairway Wood. Why I love this golf club is because, again, as someone who creates a lot of dynamic loft at impact, because I'm a little flippy, I bring the golf swing I got to the golf course. I don't try and change anything at this point. So for me, it's about finding a fairway wood that has very little dynamic loft. It starts off with 14 and it goes down to as low as 12. I played at 12, so off the tee it goes a long way, and because I create that dynamic loft even off the fairway, no laying up, try and go for as many par 5s as possible, it works really well. I'm using for now the SC75 shaft from Acura. It's M4, it's an older model, but it's awesome. I've been using the FX series, and I probably will end up using that in, this year anyways. Their 200 series, it just works really, really well. But for me, had this lying around, had an extra tip, really wanted to try it out. Ryan Palmer uses a shaft from this vintage in a different series from Acura. Works really well. It's about finding what works for you. It's not always using the newest. I am going to end up using the new 2.0 FX series, but for now, it's a good project for the beginning of the year. Irons. As a club builder, I get really finicky when I'm building my irons because you're not just building one golf club, you're building 8 golf clubs or 9 golf clubs that have to match spec across the board. And as a club builder, I take a lot of time and a lot of pride in any golf club that I build for myself or anybody else. So there's a few custom things with these. They're the MP18s. I love these irons. I use the Florida pitching wedge in the blade, and I use the fly high in the 3 and the 2 iron because everyone needs a little help at the top end of the golf bag. I'm using 6.0 Project X LZs. Straight in, no hard stepping, no soft stepping. Straight in works really well. And I'm using the National Custom Works ferrules. Got them on my wedges as well. There's some other cool colors available. I found these guys on Instagram. They're the guys who have Don White grinding their irons. They're kind of the old scratch guys getting back together. These are the best ferrules I've ever used, period. They fit really well. They fit really close to the outside diameter of the iron, so there wasn't a lot of turning down to do, but they're amazing. They come in all kinds of different custom colors. I custom ordered these ones. It took a little longer. If they're worth the wait, yeah, if you want something custom for your irons, play them off a 37-inch 7 iron, 1 degree flat from Mizuno standard, 2 wraps of tape on just a normal tour velvet, nothing fancy, and D4 swing weight. A little heavier. Again, someone who's a little flippy and a little quick and has a problem getting a little quick sometimes, having a heavier swing weight for me works really well. Now for the wedges, the swing weight gets heavier again. I think they're right around D5. I use a 50 degree and a 54 and a 60. 54 is bent to 55. Same thing, 6.0, Project X LZs. A lot of times for a lot of players, I recommend going heavier and softer in the wedges. For me, they're just straight in wedge shafts, but I play the swing weight heavier. And as I've talked about before, I play them really flat. These things are 3 degrees flat from the standard. They're pretty close to 60 degrees lie angle on all 3. The reason is I have very low hands at impact with my wedges, and I never want to miss left. So getting that initial launch direction, as I've talked about before, is really important with lie angle, especially with clubs that have higher loft, which is why I play them so flat. Some custom stamping on these things, and that's pretty much it. I have one other thing was with the grips, I have one extra wrap of tape. Especially when I'm chipping and pitching, I want to just have something that feels a little bit thicker to kind of keep those hands as slow as possible. Maybe it's mental, I don't know. But for me, it's really important just to know what I have, which is why that's how I got into club building, was because I was really particular about the clubs that I use, and that's what I'm using. So if you have any questions about that or any specs that I didn't cover or any particulars, just ask in the comment section. I'm more than happy to answer them. And thanks so much for watching.